Welcome to Nightstone's Devlog number 8. In this episode, I'm going to show you the game's trailer. Let's watch the first 3 seconds together, shall we? Okay, now that I've dangled that carrot, let's talk about how I made the trailer and why making it broke my game. I started working on the trailer after getting some really good advice from a friend who suggested I show what Nightstones will look like when it's done, not what it looks like now as a work in progress. This would force me to think through all the game's visuals and help me identify any issues in its storyline. Pretty good advice, actually. I started by watching all of Derek Liu's videos about indie game trailer making right here on YouTube. I learned about things like rising intensity, where you draw the viewer in with a higher intensity introduction, then lower the intensity to explain the game while slowly raising the intensity back up for the climax. And I also learned about eye tracing, and began to make my cuts so the player remains in the same place on the screen during transitions. This allows the viewer to keep up with the action even when the cuts are fast. He's got a ton of great content on his channel, so you should really check him out if you're at all interested in making trailers. Let's talk about the major regions of the world I added to the game. The first was the Oracle's castle. You may be wondering how the Oracle, one person, could build this massive castle. Well, I'd like to introduce you to the Nightwalkers. They were created by the Oracle to build a portal so the Oracle could travel home. But since the Oracle's disappearance, the AI of the Nightwalkers has evolved, and these annoying dudes are one of the main enemies of the game. Reminder, there is no combat in Nightstones, so you'll need to use your wits to get by these guys. Another region I built up was the Weird Woods. This region of the world is never day and never night, but somewhere in between. There is a cavern here called the Tombs of Time. Supposedly entering the tombs disrupts time itself. Yikes! I also created a city in the clouds called Zero, home of the owls. But good luck getting in here because all the other races have been exiled from the city since the day the Oracle disappeared. I also made a few changes to the existing parts of the world, and you'll see those in the trailer. A huge thank you to Discord member Manohu from Germany for redesigning the portal so it fits into the world aesthetic better. So the new parts I added to the world are incomplete, and you can do crazy things like fall off the map. So I consider the game broken, but not to worry, I'll piece it back together before the demo releases. I'm excited to show you how I use these new regions of the world to make the trailer. But before I do, I wanted to let you know that I'll be launching the Nightstones Kickstarter campaign in the next few weeks. If you want to be an alpha tester, or you want to see your name in the game's credits, or better yet, you want to see yourself in the game, Kickstarter will be your opportunity. There's a preview link in the description, and it would mean the world to me if you could follow the campaign. Thank you so much for your consideration. With the new regions, I started to piece a trailer together with some new visuals, but I didn't get very far because I like cutting tracks to the beat of music, and I knew Jon the composer could make something awesome for the trailer. I was chilling at the pool with my kids when Jon sent me a final version of the trailer music. My kids loved it, I loved it, and we played it at the pool and listened to it on repeat for like an hour. It was seriously such a cool moment for me. But enough of my weepy dad stories. Jon and I wanted dialogue in the trailer, so we sent each other back like 100 voice memos, all of this like bad acting as we're trying to work through the script. When we had a final script, Jon found us this amazing voice actor who did such a good job bringing a voice to Nightstones. Armed with a killer soundtrack, I started cutting more segments of the trailer, and now the sound effect design was just not keeping up with the rest of the trailer. My typical way of getting sounds from my games is to get them from Audio Jungle. But with the sheer volume of abilities and interactions being shown in the trailer, all the sounds from all the different sources were not bringing a cohesive feel to the game. So it was time to up my sound effect game. I found an amazing article on WoW Sound describing how games like Final Fantasy VIII approach sound effect design for things like magic spells. There are essentially 3 phases of the sound. The cast phase when the spell is charging, the shoot phase when the spell is in motion, and finally the impact when the spell hits something. So a single spell sound effect is really 3 different sound effects in sequence, and you can change any one of those phases and make the overall spell sound differently. Heck yeah! So I purchased one of their sound effect bundles and began to redo every single sound effect in the game. Here's the cool new sound effect for the Nightstone, which is really 3 sounds that I mixed together. Cool, right? If you are enjoying the content, please consider wishlisting Nightstones on Steam, subscribing to this channel, and liking this video. You have no idea how much that helps me. Thank you for being so awesome. Now the trailer was really starting to look like something, but it was missing that like last little touch, and that last little touch that I always like to add is particles. There were already a lot of particles in Nightstones, but many of them lack that toon feel that's become so characteristic of the game. And that's because I can't draw, like, at all. So I found this amazing particle asset from a developer called Cartoon Coffee on the Unity store that made the particle effects really jump off the screen. Turns out Cartoon Coffee also has a YouTube channel where he makes some really cool 2D indie game content. I asked him to make a Nightstones redraw where he takes a 3D game and turns it into 2D, and he hasn't done it yet. So check out his awesome channel and ask him to redraw Nightstones. Better yet, if you're a developer, tell him to forget that Nightstones guy and to redraw your game instead. I've left his links in the description. So with new regions, a killer soundtrack, a rad voice actor, sweet new sound effects, and new eye-popping particle effects, I created the trailer. I gotta give mad props out to Jon the composer and my amazing wife for watching it hundreds of times and always finding something that I can improve. Distinguished viewers of YouTube, I give you Nightstones.
I had this dream where I could fly. A dream where I could turn day into night in an instant. But when I woke up, I was still there. The locals call me Traveler and tell me about the travelers that came before me. This land is full of marvel. But it's also full of danger. I am not the first traveler, but I will certainly be the last.
Wow, I still love watching that thing. I hope you guys like it. Please let me know what you think here on YouTube or on Discord. And please, please, please follow the Kickstarter campaign so that you know when it launches. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I'll see you soon.